Welcome to Sam Outside. I'm Sam and I'm outside. I'm going to get in the habit of wearing a little more blaze orange. That's right, safety orange. Not so much because it's hunting season. Well, the way that I would look at the calendar and know it as hunting season. But yes, there are several hunting seasons happening at once. I'm not wearing the blaze because I'm out hunting. I'm wearing it because, well, I'm out in nature. And as much as I trust and know a lot of hunters in the area, there are a lot of people who do venture to this neck of the woods, as you would, to hunt. And although I'm on private property and I trust most of the people in my area, I had an incident earlier in the week where I did start to hear the bellow of hounds. Yeah. It's not a common practice, but sometimes someone's hunting dogs do get out and they get on the trail of a deer. And sure enough, I had had a young buck literally race in front of me within a couple meters. Didn't even acknowledge my presence, just kept running because the hounds were bellowing and they were not close. But it just dawned on me that, yeah, it's hunting season. Now, when I talk about hunting season, I'm primarily talking about open deer season. Now, open deer season for where I am in Ontario happens to be the first week in November. That coincides with the full moon, which would be the rut for the bucks. But what is in season right now, of course, is black bear, which has been on for a while. And there is small game. And for me and the people that I know, that's primarily partridge and rabbit. And waterfowl. All right. So, first thing in the morning and usually in the evening, we do hear the odd pop of shotguns in the distance. And although most of those practices, people would hunt on land they own, land they know that they've got permission on, I don't have complete control over or knowledge of who's been given access to the land that I walk every day. And I don't tend to deviate too much from my path. But because I'm a dog owner, there's a chance that, yes, Mr. Indiana Bones might get on the trail of something, might chase a deer for a little bit, and he doesn't go that far. He doesn't get close. I mean, he's pretty good at coming back when he's called. However, fancy word for but, there are more reasons to wear the blaze than not to. All right. I am in the habit of walking with a bear bell. Now, this one's sort of on mute. It's got a small magnet. Mostly so I can acknowledge my presence, and anything that is in the area will generally hear us long before it sees us. But I have had many opportunities to have wildlife encounters, and at this time of year, I don't know that there might be somebody who has wandered beyond the property lines and is ending up in our area. So if you've been a fan of this channel, you know that I am in the habit of putting on a blaze vest on Mr. Indiana Bones throughout the year. And that's really just for me so that I can see him from a distance. And the blaze orange is not because he is a hunting dog, but he's a dog. And he'll give chase to whatever moves, literally whatever moves. Other dogs, people. But in this area, it's mostly the deer. So I do have some time, but it's the people who might be near the water hunting waterfowl. It might be a bear hunter who's traveled too far, or someone just walking the trails where I am, and they just happen to bring a firearm on the happenstance that they encounter a partridge or a rabbit. So yeah, there's more reasons to wear the blaze than not. The bear bell is something that I have not solely because of the bear, although typically that would be something that I would actively engage in my spring walks when the bear tend to get out of their dens. It's it's more for just all the wildlife, and not just wildlife, but other people too. They'll hear it coming. If I am nervous about wildlife encounters, if I see fresh scat or fresh sign of bear in the area, which we do, then that just gives me more chance to acknowledge my presence, because that typically is what will create a negative wildlife experience is coming across an animal suddenly, right? It's hard at this time of year to do that because there's so much leaf litter, and Mr. Indiana Bones has a couple tags on his collar, so although I might not notice it, wildlife certainly does. It's not natural, right? So the rhythm of my steps and my cadence And the fact that I'm pretty committed to the trails, most wildlife would know that that's a human. And they would either move on or be still, find refuge, find safety, find shelter. But it's the bear in the area that, other than a moose in rut, the bear is the thing that would cause most people stress. So for me, I'm not too worried about the bear, mostly because the black bear in our area, the ones that I've seen anyway, they can get huge, but they are few and far between. They've got an amazingly large range, but at this time of year, they will go further than their range as they're looking for ample supplies of food storage as they prepare for winter. So they're fattening up, which might invite them to go a little bit further than normal and get a little closer to humans than normal as they're drawn to, things like barbecue grease and whatever's left in our gardens. All right. So yeah, I am bear wise. I know that I can restrict my movement, I can make noise, but should I encounter a black bear, its first line of defense is to climb, right? They've got claws for climbing. Really, they've got such amazing, powerful strength for moving logs and rocks as they look for insects and other edibles. But as cubs, from the moment they get out of the den, they are encouraged to climb. It's their primary defense. Just get up and away from threats, which could include other bears, more specifically the males or the boars as they're known. And the boar will be subject to cannibalism and take out cubs, mostly to put the sow back in availability. All right, if she doesn't have cubs to look after, she'll be more available for breeding, despite the cost of the population. So yeah, there are bears in the area. I've had them take advantage of garbage they might have stored outside, or you'll see the damage on the curbside come collection day. They've been known to do that. But for me, my presence, I've been at my house for just 18 years, and I've had less than a handful of encounters on my property specifically, and I've had maybe just as many signs of bear in the area along the trails, but they're out here. And the fact that I am out here twice a day every day, and the fact that I know that there are hunters out there, that also might trigger their behavior for going a little bit outside of their normal range. And I'm nowhere near a municipal disposal site, nowhere near a dump, as it were. In this part of the world, in Ontario, there's no such thing as a bear that hasn't been to a dump. Every single bear in Ontario is within 20 miles, 30 miles of a dump, and that's just part of their practice, right? And some dumps are better feeding grounds than others. Bear, it's an issue. Moose, I'd say the moose relative to the bear population is about the same, just as many moose in my area as there are bear. But those animals are designed to hear and smell far before they see, and by making a little noise, by making a lot of movement, walking like a human who's out on a walk in nature and not walking like a hunter or being in a stand. And don't underestimate my own scent. They know we're out here, and just the act of doing this, talking, yeah, it's unlike anything else that the animal world would be familiar with. So, yep, they know we're out here. So, although I might not see them, I do know how to recognize the signs of other wildlife. So there's more reasons for me to make myself aware, not for the wildlife, but for the people at this time of year who might otherwise be venturing into the forest on this land with permission or not. So I'll make a habit of wearing more blaze, probably as the weather gets colder and as I get close to that first week in November. I'll start to wear the vest. Probably have to switch to a toque or a beanie of some kind, but yeah, just always in the practice of keeping Mr. Indiana Bones in a blaze vest, more for my own ability to spot him from a distance and others as well. And that's what we're known for, is, the man and his dog that wear the blaze. So if you are venturing out into nature during hunting season, it's not a bad thing to do. Make some noise, wear the blaze, Not so much for the wildlife, but for the other humans who are venturing into the forest for a different reason. All right, especially if you're in, wooded areas where you know that there might be more activity depending on the time of year. So get to know the land, get to know the seasons despite your practice, especially if you are venturing in nature. All right. I hope that helps. Yeah. Go outside. All right. We're better for it. Learn about your wildlife. Learn about your other peoples. All right. It's good for you. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon. Be safe. Bye-bye.